All right. Welcome to Forecasting with Friends. I'm Meteorologist John Dawson. It's Tuesday, and I'm here solo today. Chief Meteorologist Mike Itzkovitz taking a little time off. That means Allison and I are covering the mornings, and I'm here today. I'll be back again tomorrow, and I thought we'd do things a little bit different. We're going to jump into a little bit more serious weather type news here. Sometimes we kind of hit the lighter stuff first or kind of move around, but I kind of want to jump. We've got some wildfires that are happening on the West Coast, and serious situation out there. This video that we have is just really spectacular of these fires because it really kind of shows how these heavy winds are fueling these massive brush fires. These are near Malibu, California, where we have several areas there that are now under a mandatory evacuation. This is being called the Franklin Fire, and it is spreading fast as firefighters are trying to battle the winds that have really swept through here and created this to be such a dangerous situation. So the police, the firefighters are having to go door to door to evacuate homes. Los Angeles County Fire Department says that the fire broke out near Malibu's Canyon Road on Monday night, and it is threatening nearby Pepperdine University, where police issued a shelter-in-place order. Fire officials said that as of early this morning, as in Tuesday morning, the flames have spread to more than 2,200 acres, and at this point they have zero containment. And I'll tell you, I sometimes struggle to really understand what the containment really means when it gets down to it, but I certainly understand that zero containment means nothing's happening. That thing is completely on its own and not really being impacted a lot by what the firefighters are able to do at this point. Again, such high winds and the dry conditions are really just spreading this thing so quickly. Latest number 2,200. Now, I mentioned Pepperdine University. I have some video here that's from inside one of the buildings at the nearby Pepperdine University. You can see very clearly from inside one of their buildings there that the smoke and even the flames are very visible through those windows. So that must be a pretty scary situation, I would think, to have all those students that are there in a place away from home and a place that maybe they're not as familiar with, and they were told to shelter in place at the library and the student center. So I have to assume that those two buildings are the most secure ones that are out there. But yeah, that is some scary looking video from inside one of the buildings there in Pepperdine University. I guess that's a look out a little bit better there. They have canceled the classes for today, so that is the good news. Now, I also have a live camera that I can show you. It's actually a part of our weather graphics system where we can kind of take a peek here. And this is in Santa Monica. This is our Los Angeles Fox station that's out there, has this camera in Santa Monica. They've got it pointed back towards Malibu. And so you can see the smoke that's rising there. And, this is enough of a distance where it's very clear, hey, we've got some smoke, we've got some wildfires, but it's hard to really tell exactly how aggressive some of those wildfires are. But we've just saw the video from overnight, though, that really kind of lays that out very clear for us. So want to take a minute now to just, again, start our Forecasting with Friends, really talking about and focused on what's happening there on the West Coast with the fires that are in California. But I do want to kind of shift gears a little bit here, get back to the Houston area. We've been tracking a cold front that's moving through all of southeast Texas this morning, and finally I'm able to kind of peek in on one of our tower cams here in the downtown Houston area. Well, actually this is more specifically in the Galleria, but more in the central Houston area, and see some blue in the skies. We had those overcast skies at points this morning. It was just downright low-hanging clouds. We also saw some of the conditions where we had fog across some of our southern counties as well this morning. You'll notice those winds out of the north 16 miles an hour. That really brings in that drier air, helps to kind of clear things out a little bit. Current temperatures in the downtown Houston area around 62 degrees. Dew points at 52. That's going to continue to drop as the drier air continues to move on through. So the front is moving through really today. The boundary itself, the shifting of winds, that has already taken place for most of the Fox 26 viewing area. And then now the breezy conditions build in behind that. We're slowly continuing to clear the skies. And yes, we have our first freeze watch for the season, and it'll be just confined though to our northern counties. We're going to map here in just a minute to kind of show you that. But first of all, Huntsville at 53 degrees, Intercontinental Airport at 62 degrees, Angleton about 61. I really think that where we see our temperatures right now, we're going to be pretty much locked in a degree or two at the most as we move through the day, with the combination of the breezy winds as well as the colder air just kind of moving in behind that boundary itself. So let's talk about this freeze watch for just a minute, because the National Weather Service has sort of changed a little bit about how they do their freeze watches and warnings. But what is still similar to what they've done in the past is that they issue a freeze watch when the first freeze is expected. So it doesn't really matter how strong of a freeze it is. If we get to that 32-degree mark, they're going to issue that freeze watch just to kind of remind everybody, hey, we're here, we're in this time of the year, and at this time, sometimes we have to take actions in order to be safe. And so that's kind of what we're looking at for sure when we see the freeze watch that's been issued so far. So Montgomery County, San Jacinto County, Polk County, Harris County, I'm sorry, not Harris County, Walker County, Grimes, Washington, Brazos, those are going to be the main ones there that we see. You kind of know your group there, those northern counties, if you're included in those. Harris County not included in that freeze watch. So here's sort of laying out what I was just talking about there. That first freeze of the season, when we're 24 to 36 hours out, they're going to issue that freeze watch. That's the situation that we're seeing right now. But once we get past this event, it will be more focused on that 24 degrees. Will it hit the 24 degrees? If it does, then the freeze watch or the freeze warning will be issued. So with this particular case, where we're mainly just focused on a situation in which we're probably going to see some of our areas as low as 28 degrees, but really we're looking at 28 to 32 is kind of the range that we're talking about. It won't be for extended hours. We're probably looking at maybe 3 to 5 hours at the most, as far as seeing those temperatures below 32 degrees. So primarily it's the plants that we're concerned with. Now, if you have some pipes that are very much exposed to the elements and not very hardy at all, very just kind of weak, if they're old piping or if it's just not as strong of a material, whatever they're made out of, then yeah, we could have some issue with the pipes. And obviously your pets, and you want to make sure that they have somewhere warm to be as well. But in this case, it is sort of focused on vegetation to be the main concern. Now, I've talked about Wednesday morning being that cold morning where we have the freeze watch. We want to make sure and let you know that these very similar conditions will be around for Thursday. We might not have a freeze watch for Thursday because it's not the first time that we've seen freezing, but the numbers themselves will be very similar on those expectations. And then look how quickly we bounce back up for Friday and Saturday morning. We're going to move in and get that back to some seasonal numbers. And I'm also going to have to talk about some rain here in just a minute when we get into there. All right, so that's going to do it for what I want to show on our weather graphics right now. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about that cold front here a little bit later on. But let's shift gears. Let's get a little bit more into the holiday spirit, the holiday season. And we're going to start with a story out of Frisco about some a very unique way to celebrate. The exterior of the house looks really nice, but this is inside the garage. This is what it's really amazing is this unique way of celebrating the holidays. A woman from Frisco has been painting and decorating and displaying little homes inside what she calls a life-sized snow globe. So yeah, all of this is handmade, and right now it sits inside of her garage, and it has about 60 houses. Now, that doesn't include the trains and the other items that you see there, the little people and the toys and all that kind of stuff. It's got 60 houses, and April says that she will be showing off this massive snow globe to the Frisco community every night until New Year's Eve. So that's really a pretty amazing setup there for sure. All right, let's go over to another area near Dallas, a mall near Dallas, where Santa's favorite oversized elf has been making an appearance at a mall in the Dallas area. Check it out. That is Buddy the Elf, or at least somebody who's dressing up as Buddy the Elf and seems to be acting like Buddy the Elf, recreating the scenes from the 2003. Wow, 2003? I didn't know it was that old. 2003 holiday classic starring Will Ferrell. Now, like not knowing exactly how to get up the escalators is one of the some of the fun there that this particular Buddy the Elf is doing. So overall, those shoppers didn't seem to mind, though. They were recording, and others were just enjoying the holiday shenanigans. All right, now this is my favorite video of the day. We're going to jump out to Hawaii now, where it looks like Santa is going to catch a few waves, a little bit of sunshine there, really soaking that in before he rides across the world celebrating on December the 24th. That is Santa. Aloha from Waikiki Beach in Hawaii. The man in red there did some canoeing, and this was his 19th annual visit to the Waikiki Beach resorts, where he spread the holiday cheer in paradise there. So yeah, that's a pretty good place to kind of get warmed up if you're about to head out and go around the world on December the 24th. I think he's going so fast because of his reindeer. I think maybe maybe it's not his reindeer. Maybe he's got some other folks there in the boat, some elves or somebody helping to kind of row along a little bit, doing the paddle work there for it. So, of course, the locals and the visitors all helped Santa kick off the holiday season with some music, had to do some dancing, and several photo opportunities as well in that fun that they were having. All right, well, I think we're also going to be taking a look now at another unique holiday tradition, and sort of focused around how folks are enjoying that with doing some traveling.
It's an undersea Santa spectacular, with the iconic man in red trading in his sleigh for some scuba equipment. The Wet n Wild scene unfolding at an aquarium in Budapest, Hungary, where Santa showed off an underwater Christmas tree to a shark-filled tank.
With the help of our sharks, we try to highlight the need to slow down a bit during the holiday season and to show people to love others.
The annual tradition at this facility is just one of many unique global events, helping to usher in the holiday season with flair. Over in Mexico City, thousands of spectators recently gathered for the Christmas kickoff parade known as Bolo Fest. The sights and sounds awakening feelings of nostalgia that can warm so many hearts this season.
You feel the whole Christmas vibe. It reminds me a lot of my childhood.
Meanwhile, in Austria, thousands lined dark streets to catch a glimpse of the traditional Krampus run. Krampus is a horned figure rooted in some European countries' folklore. The being is said to join St. Nick as he visits children. But while St. Nick hands out gifts to those who are good, Krampus assigns punishments to folks on the naughty list.
It's true handicraft, and the people like it.
In a time where social media has many people looking down, advocates say keeping in-person traditions like these alive helps make the holiday season magical. I'm Janley Painter, Fox News.
Wow, I am glad that no one told me about Krampus when I was a bit younger. That was a little bit intense there for the young ones. I think that's going to keep everyone behaving for the rest of the 365 days of the year. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got more to talk about coming up after this. All right, today is day 2. We're just getting started with the 12 days of Christmas. This is Fox 26 campaigns to help families in these holiday season. And of course, Ruben Dominguez is the guy in charge. He's in Katy this morning with the Ellis family.
All right, you guys, day number 2 of the 12 days of Christmas. And we're going to kick it off with the man himself, Sam the Man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. You know, my kids are here today for the Ellis family. My whole family is here. We're supporting Ellis family day number 2. And I appreciate Baker Ripley, our partner, for bringing this beautiful family to us. Thank you, Walmart. Thanks, Chick-fil-A. And thanks, Fox 26, for arranging this. And, you know, I'm so grateful for that my employees from Exclusive Furniture, my team members, they're all here. We love to do this 9th year. And this just brings happiness and joy you just can't imagine.
I love it, man. It just keeps getting better and better. And you mentioned Walmart, one of our partners here, Natazi. You guys knocked it out. Beautiful tree, beautiful presents. I mean, you guys just did it up.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here on behalf of Walmart, celebrating with the Ellis family. We're bringing gifts and joy from our stores behind us.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
We're just here to be here.
All right, hand those presents off over there. Now, you guys can open in 1 minute. Not right now, though. Just give it. I'll give you the cue. I'm going to come this way. All right. Chick-fil-A in the house. Marissa, what'd you bring for the family?
On behalf of Chick-fil-A Houston, we are so excited to present free Chick-fil-A entrees for a year.
I love it. Hand it over. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good. Well done. Up top. I love it. All right. This is a special day, Baker Ripley. We've hit a milestone. Tell them.
This is Baker Ripley's 50th family with 12 days of Christmas. Yes, and the Ellis family is so beautiful and deserving, and we just want to say thank you to all of the partners. Fox 26 News, Exclusive Furniture, Walmart, and Chick-fil-A. Thank you so much.
Love it, love it. And I have permission from Santa for you guys to open those gifts. Yeah, let's go. Get into it. Get into it. Yeah. This is the best. Show everybody. Show everybody. You happy? Are you? Mom, how you feeling?
I feel amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you, everybody, all of the partners. I feel amazing.
Well, you are very welcome. Have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Guys, tomorrow, day number 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. We'll see you then.
All right, that's so great. Now, of course, Fox 26 not doing it by ourselves. Exclusive Furniture, Walmart, Chick-fil-A, and Baker Ripley. They're the ones helping to make this happen. Now, the 12 families have already been chosen for this year, but if you need help or would like to help others, you can learn more about Baker Ripley and its programs by calling 713-667-9400, or, of course, just go to bakerripley.org. All right, I've been talking about some cold weather headed our way coming up in really tonight and tomorrow night. But we're going to check in with meteorologist Ramisha Shade. She's going to tell us a little bit about how cold it's gotten so far and a little bit of a comparison to last year.
Hello to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade, and let's talk about some chilly December temperatures. Of course, this is the time of the year where you start thinking about a possible freeze. In fact, on average, we typically have freezing temperatures for the first time in Houston, at least at some point in December, usually the first few weeks of December. But last year that didn't happen, and so far we have not reached the freezing mark in Houston yet for this December. So let's compare December 2023 with where we've been so far for December 2024. Last December, our coldest temperature was actually on December 11th. So we got very close to the freezing mark, but we didn't quite make it there. 33 degrees was the coldest. So far for this December, of course, we haven't made it entirely through the whole month yet, but so far we've only been down to 41 degrees. That's been our coldest temp so far for Houston, officially at Bush Intercontinental Airport, and that was back on December 2nd. So we are waiting to see just when we could get our first freeze of the season for the Houston area. I definitely think it's going to happen for some of you that live just north of Houston as we go through the middle of the week. But for Houston, we'll likely have to wait a little bit longer. In fact, we had to wait quite a while last fall and winter. That first freeze of the season didn't happen until January 15th. So that was a late first freeze where Bush Intercontinental in Houston reached a low of 25 degrees, believe it or not. That was super chilly, bitter cold for us. And along with that Arctic air, we actually had a trace of snow reported for the area. All right, let's talk about January 15th. That was, of course, early this year. In fact, January 15th was the beginning of a very cold stretch of days. We actually had 3 days in a row where those temperatures plummeted late at night to well below freezing. 25 degrees for January 15th, 18 degrees for January 16th, and 20 degrees for January 17th. So this ended up being our coldest stretch for the fall and winter season for last season. So certainly we are dealing with some chilly temperatures out there, but nothing like this. So this certainly did bring in some very uncomfortable chilly air. The cool weather is not your thing. We only made it up to 33 degrees on January 15th that afternoon, at 25 for the low, only up to 34 January 16th. And only up to 45 degrees for January 17th. So that certainly was the coldest of the weather that we had to deal with for last fall and winter. So far for this fall, we have not had those temperatures reach that freezing mark. However, the potential is certainly going to be there for some areas just north of Houston for your Wednesday morning. In fact, this is what we're forecasting for your wake-up temperatures. So extra blanket on the bed, extra layers to throw on before you step out the door, because we're talking about Brenham likely reaching freezing right at 32 Wednesday morning around 6-7 a.m. and College Station will be right at that freezing mark. Other areas that will get close to freezing: Conroe, Huntsville, and Livingston. Now, if you don't reach the freezing mark Wednesday morning, you'll have another shot Thursday morning, so you certainly want to make sure you are prepared, at least for the potential for freeze, since we have those temperatures likely right around freezing for Conroe, College Station, Brenham, Livingston, and Huntsville once again Thursday morning. I think the best chance out of these locations to reach freezing Thursday would be Livingston and Huntsville. So with the potential for these freezing temperatures headed our way, what do you need to do? Well, these are the 4 P's that we always remind you of every time this year. You need to make sure to think about people, of course, yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Make sure you're protected. Extra layers, of course, when temps are freezing, you want to try to have as little skin exposed to those elements as possible. So the hat, the scarf, the gloves, the boots, the layers, the jacket, the sweater, the coat, whatever you need to stay warm. Try to limit that amount of time outside. Check on others, especially elderly, children. And if you don't have any heat available to you, try to call and find those warming centers in the area. Of course, you don't want to forget about your pets as well. They can develop frostbite, hypothermia, so you need to try to bring your pets inside and make sure they've got some warm food and water, and ensure that they have that adequate shelter. Of course, your pipes are important. You don't want them to freeze and burst, so make sure to drain the sprinklers, insulate exterior pipes, and keep that interior temp above 65 if possible, and try to make the faucets drip or open those cabinets to help out with that situation so you don't have frozen pipes. And of course, your plants, you don't want to forget about those either. If you can, try to bring them in, try to cover them during the day. You may want to use a heat lamp, put them in the garage. These are just some things you can do to try to keep yourself, your pets, and your plants safe during this cold weather. So you may be asking yourself, wow, some of us are going to be at freezing for parts of this week. Will it last? Well, looking ahead, in fact, looking towards next week, it looks like no, it's not going to last. We're going to have those temperatures jump right back up to the above normal range. You can see much of Texas in that orange and red, and that will mean those temperatures likely soaring above average for much of next week. This will be December 15th through 19th. So over the next few days, prepare for a potential freeze, but as we go into next week, we'll likely be in the warmth. Once again, average high now down to around 66 degrees, so we'll likely be a little warmer than that at times during parts of next week.
All right, that'll do it for today's Forecasting with Friends. Stay warm tonight.